Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and this is Premier Vegas Sports.
Hello, it's Premier Vegas Sports Boxing Edition. Gilberto Manzano, lead writer at the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Bryan, Salmond, and here to talk about some big news in the boxing world. Of course, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. That fight did not materialize, unfortunately, for boxing fans. However, Tyson Fury, the lineal heavyweight champion, will get a chance to fight Deontay Wilder. It looks like it may be. What news do you have?
Yeah, it sounds like it's a close fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. You remember Tyson Fury was the guy who beat Vladimir Klitschko, the man who beat the man, so he has a lineal title, but he hasn't fought. Well, he fought recently, but it was kind of a circus out there. Horrible fight, but it was his first fight in 3 years. But now he's back, he's saying he's in shape, and he wants to fight Deontay Wilder, the guy who says, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad. Yeah.
There you go, with the power. So that could be a big Las Vegas fight here locally. I don't know where yet, T-Mobile or MGM. But it sounds like Showtime really wants to promote that fight as a pay-per-view to end the year here in Las Vegas.
Well, the fact that they finally will have a heavyweight fight here in Las Vegas potentially is big. And Deontay Wilder, he's trying to get a fight. He's trying to get his name out there. Tyson Fury is a perfect guy that he can do that with. We talked about it off camera. The fact that the build-up for that fight would be absolutely insane because those guys can really bump their gums.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Wilder missed that on the Anthony Joshua, big money fight. But this is probably just as good. He might not get as much money, but to build that name, that brand, especially in the UK, Tyson Fury is very beloved out there. They love the Gypsy King, as they call him over there. But you mentioned it, the build-up, the hype, both trash talkers, that's what we're missing with Canelo and Triple G. They don't really, speak a lot of trash. I know they don't like each other, but Wilder and Fury, it's going to be a lot of, verbal jabs going in, and these guys get this fight, for reals made here in Las Vegas.
It'll be insane. And another fight that potentially could be in Las Vegas as well, Mikey Garcia, who just had a very big win, is looking to go up in weight against Errol Spence. Mikey Garcia's camp said they would like to have that fight here in Las Vegas. What have you heard about that fight actually even happening?
Man, it's very tricky. For like a few days, it seemed like that fight was already set in stone. It was made. Mikey Garcia is going to fight Errol Spence, a big jump for him from lightweight to welterweight here in Las Vegas. But now there's reports saying that maybe Mikey Garcia might be talked out of the fight. Robert Garcia, his trainer and brother, a really respected trainer in boxing. Exactly, he's smart. He's saying you maybe shouldn't fight this guy. You should wait for Lomachenko, a guy your size. So maybe Mikey might be talked out of that fight. This was a fight that Showtime would seem like they were on board to really promote as a pay-per-view, also in Las Vegas. So now I think they're going towards Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder because I just don't see two pay-per-views back-to-back. I think November, December. Here in Las Vegas, it might cost you more money on that cable bill to get those two fights. So I don't know if we get both, but it'll be great if we do it here in Las Vegas.
Speaking of Lomachenko, obviously he's had the surgery, so he's going to be out for a little while. That's a better fight with Mikey Garcia. If you're Mikey Garcia, if you're Lomachenko, do you think that they really want that fight? Because there's chatter coming from Mikey Garcia's camp that Bob Arum really does not want to make that fight happen.
That's the thing, again, these guys have rival promoters. You mentioned Bob Arum for Lomachenko, and then you have Al Heyman and Showtime and Espinosa for Mikey Garcia. So these guys don't really like each other. There's already been a lot of trash talk. They're saying he doesn't want to fight, so I don't think that fight's going to happen anytime soon. But the thing that Mikey has, he has two lightweight belts now.
Exactly.
He took one from Robert Easter, and then even Lomachenko, after you take the other belt from Ray Beltran maybe in December, you look around like who's left. After a while, the pressure's coming to you. You got to tell Aaron, give me that fight with Mikey. So if I'm Mikey, I'll wait for Lomachenko. I think that fight could be made within a year. Mm-hmm. But if Bob Arum is, giving you the runaround, maybe you might, I guess, take the chance with Errol Spence.
And who wants to see the fight with Beltran and Lomachenko anyway?
The only thing that's kind of makes it a decent fight, he has a belt. But after that fight, all the belts belong to Mikey Garcia and Vasily Lomachenko. So you gotta make these guys fight, but you know how it was with Mayweather and Pacquiao and how long that takes.
Exactly. And lastly, some really big news, something that you will have a story coming out in the future, but bare knuckle boxing or fighting has come out. Sean Merriman, the ex San Diego Charger, has signed.
Lights out.
Yes, lights out. I love that.
Yeah, it seems like this bare knuckle boxing is taking a lot of leeway. People are really pushing it. They're really liking it. They had a pay-per-view for the first time in a long. I'll say, how about the first bare knuckle event in over 100 years in Wyoming?
Yeah.
Not just the first pay-per-view.
Jack Johnson?
First everything. He wasn't around for that either. But it seems like it's picking up steam. Like we saw with MMA, recently, people are really liking now. So I don't know how this bare knuckle boxing could do. It's technically boxing, it's MMA. I'm not too sure. So me and my colleague Adam Hill are trying to do a story and kind of figure out.
Cooking up something.
We're trying to do a long story, the rise of bare knuckle boxing and why guys like Sean Merriman, considering doing that, or why guys, doing this without gloves. Is it financial reasons? for the glory? What is this? I'm trying to talk to a lot of people here in town about bare knuckle boxing.
I'm interested in that. Gilberto Manzano, and also he said his colleague Adam Hill, who covers MMA for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, those guys are kind of cooking on something, so keep an eye out for that. But I guess really, lastly, what else is really big in boxing that may be coming out that I haven't asked you about? Anything in particular?
Well, we gotta wait for Canelo Triple G.
That's right.
We're pretty much a month away from that big fight. It's funny how you're always waiting and waiting. Yeah. Now it's only a month away, so I think we gotta wait for that. But it's not even just that. A week before that fight, we got Sean Porter and Danny Garcia.
Almost like I knew you might say that.
So that's what you're probably aiming at. But September is gonna be a good month. Then a week after Canelo Triple G, you have Anthony Joshua against Povetkin, the Russian. It could have been Wilder, but still, I want to see Anthony Joshua fight. So September should be exciting. August, a little slow, but you got some football training camp. But other than that, it's going to be a little quiet.
Oh, for guys like myself and guys like Gilberto Manzano, boxing is not dead, and to have some really, really big events that are coming up. So for Gilberto Manzano, Bryan Salmond, this is Premier Vegas Sports, Boxing Edition. We'll see you next time.